Good morning. So I'm just sitting on my laptop and having a look at last year really. I don't feel like I reflected on 2017 enough. I was planning on doing like a 2017 review video, but I had essays and stuff and I never got around to it. I just want to bring attention to one of the biggest things last year, which was my cycling trip with Lewis and Charlie, two guys who have become really good friends because of this trip. So we decided one day that we were going to cycle from the UK in Colchester all the way to Dusseldorf in Germany for the Tour de France. Now we did this over like 10 to 12 days. It was a really good trip, and I think we all learnt a lot about each other. And honestly, I think it's still going to be one of the best experiences of my life. So much so that I want to try and create it this year. So this year's Tour de France starts on, when is it? Let me just look it up because I want to get the dates right. So this year's Tour de France starts on the 7th of July on the west coast of France. Now my plan is to cycle from Colchester all the way to the first stage in France on the west coast of France. It's actually on an island in France, which looks like quite a cool opportunity. And it's the first stage is on a causeway, which means the tide, when the tide comes in, it covers the road, and it's meant to be a really good stage, so I'm really looking forward to going to it. And now there's a potential to go to not only the first stage, but the first 6 stages. They're all sort of within reach of each other, so my plan is, hopefully, to go to the first stage and possibly the next 5 stages after that. That's quite a big goal. Last year we only managed to do 1 stage. This year I'm aiming for 6, possibly even 7 stages. So the first bit of the trip would probably be leaving on the 1st of July, cycling to the first stage on the 7th of July, so we're going to go through, maybe through Paris, through a couple of the major cities in France. So check out those, because that's what we did when we went to the Netherlands. We checked out Amsterdam, Rotterdam. So this year I want to try and build a team of 8 man. Now the reason why I say 8 man is because the Tour de France usually has 9 people in their teams, but this year they've decided to go for an 8-man team, which is quite big news in the cycling world because they've never done that before. So I'm really looking forward to that. So what I want to do is try and find 8 other people that are also got free time. You probably need around 2 weeks at the start of July, so you say from the 1st of July to the 14th of July. That's a realistic time. Obviously, once I get a few other people on board, we can start planning it. Last year we stayed in Airbnbs along the way, and that generally worked out really well, so probably going to go with that as well. So we'll keep the trip quite cheap. I think it probably will come about £250 including the ferry over. So if finance is a little bit of a problem, then let me know and we can try and plan the trip as cheap as possible. In terms of bikes, Lewis and Charlie both did it on their bikes that they just had at home. I think Lewis borrowed one of my bikes actually, but neither of the bikes were like really high-tech bikes. We just fitted them with panniers, and yeah, they were absolutely fine. A few little things. Flashback to this moment.
So mechanic Ben is back on the job. Ben, what's happened?
Well, Lewis's bike was starting to make a really loud clicking noise. So I made him stop. I just rode it and I found out that all the back spokes, I don't know how this has happened, all the back spokes have come really loose. So yeah, in terms of bike, you don't really need to have like a really high spec bike. Obviously there is some things that you need, but if you've got a bike and you think it might not be suitable, maybe suitable, then just give me a message and I'll let you know. But if you haven't got a bike, that is something I can sort out. Go to the cattle market, I can get you one for like 100 quid. That should be able to get you to France and back. So that is the first part of the plan, is to go to the start of the Tour de France in the first 6 stages, which is pretty big, and hopefully we'll try and get, last year we were lucky enough to get Ford involved. So the first video we made was that they saw was in Dusseldorf. They saw like some of my footage of the actual tour, the riders warming up, the cycling, the actual event, and they're like, you know, they really liked it, so they wanted to buy the footage, which they ended up doing, and we actually ended up making our money back on the trip. So last time we actually earned enough money to cover the cost of our trip, which is pretty crazy. And they also sent us out to Paris for the last stage, which brings me on to the second part of the plan. So I was going to do the cycling trip to the first few stages with Lewis and Charlie, but unfortunately Lewis can't make it, but I'm still going to go ahead with that plan. So 2 weeks at the start of July cycling to the first 6 stages, which is going to be an amazing experience. But if you can't make that those stages, 2 weeks is a big commitment for a lot of people who have work and jobs and real world stuff, but I don't, so I'm going to be vlogging that the whole time. But anyway, if you can't make it to the first 2 weeks, you're thinking, damn it, I really wanted to come on a trip like that, I'm going to be going to Paris on the 29th of July. Now, this is the last stage of the Tour de France. We went last year, we got paid by Ford to go out to Paris, and it was an unbelievable experience, and now I feel like anyone who doesn't even like cycling would enjoy that experience. So this year I'm planning on cycling from Colchester to Paris. Now this is going to be a trip where I'm going to try and get again a few other people on board, ideally around the 8 mark, and we'll cycle to Paris, have a day in Paris, and then cycle home. So in total a 3-day trip, with the 29th as the day in the middle. So it'll be the 28th, the 29th and the 30th of July that you need to have free if you want to do it. And again, we'd probably stay in a few Airbnbs, keep the trip nice and cheap. But yeah, if I haven't convinced you enough, here is our highlights from last year's trip, and I hope you enjoy it. Thank you very much.
Good morning guys, how you doing? It's currently, what, 5:30 AM? Today is the day that we head off to Holland and then Germany for the Tour de France.
As you can see by that beautiful looking ferry in the background, we made it.
Have you ever played basketball on a ferry?
We made it to the Netherlands.
This is our little room for the night.
Today we are going from The Hague to Amsterdam.
Oh yeah. Links in the description. Yep.
Cabin number 64. If you ever come to Amsterdam, Bostel, we made it. We're in Amsterdam. I have never seen anything like this in my life. Traffic gives way to cyclists. See you later, Amsterdam Hostel. Lewis has only gone and got a puncher. There we go. Started to rain a little bit. We're in Utrecht. It's a really nice place. Oh, you want to see that? Good morning, guys. See you later, Utrecht. Odds on you going in that?
Mysterious girl, move your body close to mine.
This is our accommodation for tonight. A beautiful Moldovan yurt. Beautiful hand-painted roof. What are we having? Yesterday, mate. Have you ever been to Germany before?
No, I don't think I have. How about you?
No, I've never been. We're singing in the rain. We crossed into Germany and there was no border. We're in Germany, guys. Our first meal of the trip. But let's get going to Dusseldorf for the Tour de France. Whee! Been to McDonald's 4 days out of 6 so far. Charlie nearly fell off his bike. It's because his pannier got caught in the back wheel. It's not a bad job, is it? Theresa May, I know you're watching. Firstly, like and subscribe. This is for you. We've only gone and made it to the Tour de France in Dusseldorf. Yay! Woohoo! Come on! Tour de France party is in full swing. So we were just sitting down here having a beer, and our Airbnb host and his friend just came and joined us. Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Yay. This guy's got 10 million views on YouTube.
No, I have 20 million. Just one video has 10 million.
Okay, sorry. Hey, good morning, guys. We've made it to the start of the Tour de France. Mark Cavendish! Woohoo! Very excited. I've always wanted to come to stage Tour de France. Oh yeah. Look at that for a breakfast. Hey! Got the Tour de France merch. We've been unbelievably lucky. It started to rain, so all the press people went out. They were like, well, if it's not being used, you guys might as well fill it up. 3, 2, 1, come on, Chris Froome! Come on! Go, Chris! Just saw Chris Froome, Alberto Contador, Quintana. Chris Froome just went past. We were doing a time lapse, so I don't know if he was on it. I'll pause it.
So yeah, there we go. Last year's trip was absolutely incredible. I just want to say, Charlie and Lewis, honestly, it's one of the best experiences of my life, and I'm going to try and recreate it this year. Probably, who knows, might not be able to come close. But anyway, if it is something that you are interested in and you think, oh, I want to come on that trip, that sounds right enough. Honestly, it was such a great experience. Got to see so much of the Netherlands and Germany. Like, best way to travel in my opinion. You just get to see so much that you wouldn't see in a car. Anyway, if you want to come on the trip, drop me a comment down below. Comment down below would be great actually. If you comment, then I'll probably definitely see it. Just let me know if you want to come on the trip, if you've got some questions about what bike you need, how much money you're going to need, what we're going to be doing. I've got loads more details, and it'd be nice to get a few other people on board before I start planning it, because I'm thinking about starting planning it now, but at the moment I've only got 2, maybe 3 people that are definitely going to come, so I'm still looking at another 5 people. And if this is something that you've got mates that you think, oh, they'd probably enjoy that as well, then let me know. Like, get in contact with me, because I'm looking to try and build a team at 8, and if I can't do that through my own friends, then maybe you got some mates as well that would love to do it. Anyway, thank you for watching the video, and yes, yeah, really exciting stuff for 2018. I want to get planning this as soon as possible to keep it as cheap as possible on a student budget. So yeah, really exciting stuff, and I'll probably film another update video fairly shortly. So thanks guys. If you're new here, hit the subscribe button, and we'll see you again with another one. Bye.